Systems on me. Three screens green. AZ Stevens. Cleared for launch. Hands tied, lights flash, red to green. Every breath is gasoline. Code and chaos, pixels and pain. One mistake and you're out of the game. Screens glow bright, heat in my face. Digital track, physical race. Robin's voice cutting through the crowd. Send it, baby, we're running proud. No reset, no second chance. Heartbeat syncs with the engines, dancing the noise. I find my calm, adrenaline's my song. Full send nation, burn the line. Every lap we redefine. No fear, no hesitation. Stevens Motorsport, domination. Full send, nation, rise again. Full send, nation, rise again. 40 cars deep, daylight fades. We ride the storm that the engine made. No walls hold when the dream's in gear. You don't drive fast, you disappear. Set up sheet tape to the dash. Tuned by code and a flash of cash. Sweat drips down, white knuckles burn. This ain't practice, it's my turn. Grip the wheel, feel the grind. Chasing ghosts through the online mind. Every lap a brand new war. I ain't lifting anymore. Full send nation, red line ride. Fuel on fire, hearts collide. Triple screen thunder breaking the chain. We don't quit, we live insane. In gears we trust. In rubber we pray. For every wreck, another day. You better hold that line, AJ. Full send, full send. Full send, full send. Full send nation, flag held high. Daytona dreams will never die. Stevens Motorsports built to win. Light that fuse and send it again. Full send nation, crank that sound. Engine scream, the world spins round. From the grid to the finish flame, we own the night. Remember the name. Yeah. Stevens Motorsports. Full send forever. Engine
Good evening, everybody. It's time for another NASCAR Throwback Series event. We are into round number 19, and I think we're round number 3 of the chase tonight here from Dover. We'll get some race info up for you. These guys got 150 laps tonight, 3 sets of tires on the wall. It's 71 degrees in the air, which makes it only 96 degrees track temp. Talking with the guys earlier, it sounds like it is going to be a very tight race tonight. Lots of guys popping the walls on the exit of 2 and 4. So that will be a thing tonight as these guys rocket around this racetrack. We'll get this off screen. We'll get some info up so you know who you're looking at. But overall, I think this is going to be a pretty good race tonight. We got about, what did I figure, 19 cars? So good little field for tonight for 150 laps here at Dover. You know, a lot of people say, Dover, it sucks. It's really just Bristol with a boob job. That's what we're going to call it. That's what Kenny Wallace calls it. So here we are. Oh, man. But now this week's been a little bit crazy. I was going to stream on Tuesday and got roped into helping out the next gen guys on the Premier Racing Setups team. One of the guys had an unfortunate emergency, so he's out this week, which put me into the driver's seat for building the other half of the setups. So if you're a PRS driver and you're getting your next gen setups for Vegas, you'll get one from me this week or this next week. So kind of cool. I was a little flattered when Scott and Brandon reached out to me to jump in and build for them. So it's been a massive learning curve the last couple of days, but overall we're pretty solid. But I think we got something good. So and it looks like we got the usual suspects in the chat. I see Martin, Aaron, Diggs. What else we got in chat? Anybody else? That looks like it so far. We got quite a few guys either electing not to qualify or they hit the wall. I'm gonna go a little column A, a little column B. But no, if you haven't gotten a chance to yet, make sure you get over to the channel either on Spotify or on YouTube. You can catch the latest episode of the podcast that we did with JD. Gotten a lot of good feedback on it so far. I feel like people are digging it, which is kind of cool. We're gonna have episode 3 with Chris Sullivan will go up not this weekend, but the following. I don't want to get them too close together. Otherwise it makes it to where you guys aren't getting your full effect. You know, I got to keep you wanting more, right? But no, the episode with JD was really good. We talk a lot about his military life and stuff like that, which is pretty neat. Heard something about some sort of issue with somebody. The Chris Sullivan episode, I think you guys are going to enjoy too. Is he has probably one of the most famous motorsports bosses in the world. So also, I've had my cookie fixed for the night, so we're good to go there. My wife made these delicious cookie brownie things, and it's like crack. It's good. Diggs, it was kind of interesting, you know, when you think about life on a carrier is essentially like living on a floating city. So, and for those of you that don't know, I will give you a hint. Chris's boss's paint scheme is in this field. So I'll let you figure out who his boss is. But he's got some pretty cool stories. Future, you might be right. You might be right. I hear a lot of smack talking as we're still qualifying. It probably was mentioned a while ago. Diggs, they were so damn hot, even after sitting for about 10 minutes. I'm pretty sure I burned the hell out of myself eating cookies. So, all right, these guys are done with qualifying. Let's get some stuff off the screen. We're going to get our, we'll get our starting grid up here, and it's doing its thing again. I don't understand. There was definitely an update that caused an issue. There it goes. All right. Andrew Phipps going to start on the pole with a 22.945. Kevin Savoy going to be to his outside. Jesse Bedell is going to start in P3. Dennis Daly to his outside in P4. Diesel Weasel starts 5th. Dustin Haynes is going to start 6th. Jeff Pless is going to start in 7th. Anthony Crownover is 8th. Zach Korn starts 9th. Gary Freeman's 10th. Eric Kapp, the Silent Assassin, starts 11th. Aiden Haller starts in 12th, moving back a little bit further. Josh Brock going to start 13th. Anthony McPherson is going to start 14th. Carter Delson 15th. Michael Brock starts 16th. And Jacob Bowen was supposed to be in this race, and unfortunately during practice, his wheel clamp broke, so that knocked him out for tonight's festivities. So, as it looks like, we're already getting ready to go racing. We'll get some logos up. We'll get our track map. We'll go ahead and get the tower up as we roll through 1 and 2. I'm going to be interested to see if we can make it to green flag pit stops. Well, Ron, you know, she might get something. I don't know. And yes, Michelle, I did have to brag about my wife making me cookies. Ooh, Dennis, Kapp, and Freeman. I don't know. I think you're going to see Phipps and Savoy in there somewhere. But pace car's off. Once we hit the restart zone, Phipps can take us green flag racing. We'll get this thing underway. And we're off. Man, they really get squirrely on that start. And Double D looks like he missed his shift or something, because he is way back. As we roll through 1 and 2, Kevin Savoy on that high lane. Ooh, Kevin getting real close to that wall. We'll see if Savoy can get to the bottom or if Phipps tries to hold him up, because that's going to make him cook the tire off just a little bit quicker. And Savoy takes the lead with Phipps, Bedell, and Dennis. I think somebody may have disconnected, or I heard a story about somebody touching something. Ooh, Dennis is tight up top above Diesel. Diesel's going to try and shove it underneath him, see if he can't take over that fourth position in the 95 car. Phipps trying to come back on Savoy. Savoy holds him off as we head down the backstretch. Phipps to the inside. He moves Savoy off the bottom. Can he pull ahead? Savoy comes back on the outside, even across the start-finish line. Be interesting to see how these two fight it out. Does Savoy force him to the bottom and hold him? I know there's something that Dennis figured out in practice, and I don't want to give it away during the broadcast, but I will say watch that 16 car Double D, because he's kind of sorted something out. Oh, and they make contact. Savoy's up the track. That moves him off the bottom line. Dennis going to try to get under Benell. It was a very interesting, I don't know if it was neck code or just pop that moved him up. Looks like we've got two different groups right now. Korn leading that second one. Dennis going to make it underneath Benell. He's going to try and get forward and go after Phipps. And we've got Savoy coming back to the inside of Dustin Haynes. Dustin running P4. He finished P3 last week. Almost had a P2, so see if he can do something tonight. I think he's starting to figure this car out a little bit more. Savoy and Dustin continue to battle. I think Savoy going to kind of give it to him right now. We go back up front. Double D trying to track Phipps down. I'm pretty sure Benell decided he didn't want to push that hard. So we got Dustin trying to get underneath the 88 of Jesse Benell. Benell, I don't know if Benell just had a bad corner or what, because he was there and then he wasn't. So we'll have to see as Savoy's going to try to come back out around the outside. He makes it around Dustin Haynes. Dustin going to kind of fall in line. That 98 car back on the move. He's going to go after Jesse Benell here. See if he can't get to the inside of him, or maybe he tries to use the outside lane. As we see Double D is starting to pressure Phipps. Go up to the front. I don't necessarily think wrapping the bottom is the play. I kind of got to wonder if staying off of that bottom a little bit. I mean, in the 87, it's usually you kind of dime it. You enter low, come up, come back down, but you're using the banking to turn the corner. And I think Dennis is just able to open that exit up a little bit more than maybe Phipps is. Dennis is hounding him. But Dennis also not really seeming to pressure him either. I think the idea is kind of ride, see what you can do. Wait him out a little bit. As Kevin Savoy trying to come back through the field. He's got to get past Benell. Ooh! I think there was contact between Dustin and Kevin. Ooh! Dustin hits the wall. Or not Dustin. Kevin hits the wall pretty good that time. Not sure if that car's tightened up after that slide up the track earlier. Oh, we got a lead change. Double D is taking the lead away from Andrew Phipps. I think Phipps is going to try and see what Dennis is doing, maybe. Dennis putting a little bit of gap on Phipps. What's going on, Sam? We'll come back, check out this battle. Dustin Haynes going to try to go back under Savoy again. There's definitely something to that outside lane. Like, I think you've almost got to make your passes on the outside unless somebody gives you the bottom. Because otherwise it looks like you're able to be pinned down way too hard and you just kind of burn up the tire. And I'm looking at what Jesse Bedell's doing. Watch him for a second. He's kind of doing that 87 diamond thing where you run way high and let the car just kind of lazily drive around down to the bottom. Makes for a really good exit. So he goes way up the track and then just kind of a gradual down. But man, Dennis is pulled out. Holy cow. Check last lap times, because now I'm curious. Dennis and Phipps not far apart from each other. Jesse Bennell and Kevin Savoy and Dustin Haynes are actually faster. Sounds like Gary's having a fun time. Let's check in on Leo Lawnmower. A little depressed. I heard some depression from him earlier. There wasn't any grass to mow, so we got to make sure that the number 34 is looked after a little bit here as we continue to roll. Now let's go back a little bit further. Anthony Crownover had a shot at the win last week. Didn't go the way he planned it. He sits in 6th position. Then we've got Diesel and Jeff Pless running 7th and 8th currently. Get our gap back up so we know what's what. Then we got Josh Brock leading the rest of them back here. A little battle between the Silent Assassin and Zach Korn. Back to the front. Phipps has pulled it in a little bit. What's up, Keegan? Dennis continues to lead, but I don't know for how much longer. I think Phipps may have saved a little bit of tire. We got one wrecking. Looked like Eric Cap, actually. Check that out really quick. Let's go from the blimp here so we can definitely see what's going on. Caps to the high side. Oh, Aiden slows up. Michael Brock bumps him and then it does a weird hook. So Eric Cap with a little bit of damage, but nothing major. So I think we'll see a little bit of damage repair out of that. Dennis probably breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief. 23 laps in. And it's almost too early to take tires. We'll see what happens here. Dennis may come down for fuel only. A bunch of them coming down. Anthony Crownover stays out. Interesting call. I'm curious to see what Dennis does here. Yeah, and apparently there's a graphical glitch where the boxes are offset. I don't know what that's about, but I guess we'll find out here in a second. Dennis is going to take tires. Everybody else took fuel only, so I'm kind of curious about Dennis's plan here, but I got a few guys that stayed out. Crownover, Nelson. We saw Vanilla on pit road. He took fuel. So Dennis goes from 1st to 10th. Let's just see where things play out a little bit there. Double D coming off a pit road. You know, I was looking through Twitter yesterday, or actually this morning, and they were talking about Road to Pro a little bit. And apparently there's more drama in Top Split. Apparently a couple of tail end Charlies, who are usually more towards the front, may have intentionally brought out a caution to get themselves back into the race. So, and apparently it ruined a nice green flag run. About a 50 lap green flag run at Phoenix in the trucks. So, kind of interesting. Sam, I did say it, but it doesn't matter right now. Anthony Crownover is going to bring us down into turn number 3. Pace car is going to duck off. We'll get this thing started again. Remember, the top 2 did not pit. I think the first person on Freshies is probably Dennis or Phipps, one of the two. So once we hit the restart zone, Crownover can get us restarted again. And we're green flag racing. Crownover with a good restart there. It's definitely interesting out of the Hendrick cars because you have one that didn't take fuel, one that took fuel only, the other one took fuel and tires. So maybe they're hoping for a long green flag run here. I don't know. But Kevin Savoy wasting no time going after Carter Nelson. It's going to put him up to 3rd place. Back to the battle for the front. Benell going to try to go after Crownover. Either that or he's just going to ride and wait. Probably not the worst idea in the world, but I don't know. Hard to say. Do you want to have a good time or you want to be bored? But oh my God, we got a hornet's nest behind Dustin Haynes as we see Andrew Phipps trying to make it back to the front. Remember, he took tires there along with Dennis. So Dennis is going to follow wherever Phipps is right now as they try to navigate this field a little bit. You know, I think long run, I think Dennis and Phipps have a better shot at it, but short run right now, they're going to need to save tire and cleanly move through the field. So that's going to be something to watch as this race goes on. See if these two guys can get back to the front without using up too much tire. And I know Dennis is not exactly where he wants to be line-wise. So back to the front, though. It's Crownover and Benell. Followed by, excuse me, Kevin Savoy. See Dustin Haynes back here. Looks like Phipps has made it around corn. Dennis going to try to go with him. They're to the inside. Corn just kind of riding right now. Dennis goes back to the inside as well. And it looks like we've had a lead change while we're watching this. Benell has gotten around Crownover. Now, obviously, the difference between the two, one's got more fuel than the other, but I don't think you're going to see much of a difference. So, Back to watching these guys try to get through the field. Phipps has now gotten around Carter Nelson. Dennis going to go around him too. And they'll try to get around Dustin Haynes here in the 3 car. See if they can hang the bottom and keep moving. Looks like Kevin Savoy is trying to get around Anthony Crownover for a second. We've got a caution out. Gary Freeman wrecked on the backstretch. See what happened to old Gary. Well, looked like he might have got some help. Let's roll this through. Gary on the high side. Michael Brock to the bottom. Look like Michael drifts a little bit. Catches the quarter panel of Gary. See if he gets it slowed down here. Oh, Gary with a hard hit, but it doesn't blow the front end off. It might be okay. Let's go take a look at, he's still rolling. So maybe just a little bit of nose damage and some, you know, a little bit of a bruised ego. I don't know. And we got a bunch of guys coming down this time. Phipps and Dennis included. I'm sure they'll take fuel at least here. Got everybody coming down for the most part. Dustin Haynes, Josh Brock, Jeff Pless electing to stay out here. So I imagine we'll see Benell take that set of tires. Same thing with Kevin Savoy. Phipps taking tires this time, so he must not have taken tires last time. Double D going to come out fuel only. So a little bit of a shakeup in strategies. I like it. I like seeing the difference. It's kind of refreshing to see guys try different things, right? Especially if you're gonna have cautions, quick cautions right away, things like that. I didn't see Aiden Haller get into a wreck, but maybe he's got some damage. I don't see any damage on that car. Unless he decided to try to knock the wheel off of it. Let's check that right front. It don't look like it's pushed that far in, so I guess we'll have to see, but alrighty. Well, Josh Brock's going to kick this thing back off. Dustin Haynes is going to start second. Diggs, you're not wrong. And Sam, yeah, this place to drift up off turn 2 is very, very easy in any car. But I'm not a big fan of Dover, I'll say that. Pace car's in. Josh Brock's going to bring us to the restart zone. We'll get this race kicked back off. And we're green flag racing. I see Kevin Savoy already trying to make moves early. I saw Jesse Benell as well. Benell on freshies, so keep that in mind. We had Benell, Savoy, Phipps. They're all mired back here about, was it 4th, 6th, and 7th. So they're going to want to try to get through the field as clean as they can. Josh Brock continues to lead, but Double D's going to try to go after him. I think if Dennis can get to clean air and get around Josh Brock, he might be able to get a little bit of a gap going. But I do see Jesse Bennell is starting to move his way towards Double D. So Dennis has got to get around Brock pretty quick. Kevin Savoy, or not Kevin Savoy, Jesse Bennell on the move. Savoy and Phipps have stalled at 6th and 7th. Yeah, Diggs, they probably would. Well, now I'm starting to see Savoy and Phipps start to move back through the field. They've almost closed in on Jeff Pless here. Phipps to the inside of Savoy. Man, they get close. Kevin trying to pinch him down as hard as he can to make him burn up them tires. Smart play on Kevin's part. Make him use what he's got and use it up. I've kind of got to wonder if there's something not at play here with tire wear and fuel load. Go back up to the battle for the lead. Dennis still hounding Josh Brock, but they pulled out on Jesse Bennell a little bit. And I don't know if that's just from draft or what. Dennis going to try to the inside of Josh Brock. They're dead even as they head down into turn number 1. Double D to the inside. He's going to make it stick as we get ready to come out of turn number 2. Dennis going to have to hold it down. He's going to let Brock come back on him. And that's also letting Jesse Bennell get closer and closer. Dennis trying to get a run going, just cannot get it done on the bottom side. I think it's too tight to really get something going on the bottom. I think you're going to have to do it around the outside. So Jesse Bennell's closed in. He's going to go to the inside of Double D. Remember, Bennell's on fresher tires than these guys, so I'm not surprised that Jesse can kind of drive it where he wants to. But how about Jeff Pless? Jeff Pless sits 4th place behind these guys and is doing a damn good job with it. He's just kind of hanging out, watching these guys race, letting them do their thing, doing some learning as Jesse Bennell's going to go underneath Josh Brock and clear him. Or maybe not. Ooh-wee. About make contact on the entry to 3 there. Dennis going to try this again. See what he can do. And this time he does clear Josh Brock. So top 4 all single filed out. You've got Bennell, Daly, Brock, and Pless in that top 4 group. And then you've got Kevin Savoy leading the rest with Phipps, Crown over, Diesel, Eric Cap in there, Zach Horn, McPherson. See if these guys can close in a little bit. Kevin's about 2.1 back right now. Diggs, you're not wrong. I mean, we look at this. They've gapped Jeff just a little bit, but Jeff's still holding his own. You know, doesn't really have to push it too much. Just kind of do his thing. Watch these guys in front of him. Benell leads another lap. As we're underneath 100 laps to go here. It'd be interesting. Like I said, if we could get green flag stops, things could get very, very interesting. Let's check last lap times as we go by the start finish line. 23.9 out of Benell, and we're seeing 23.8 out of Savoy. So those guys are closing in, and I do believe Kevin Savoy around the inside of Jeff Bless. Jeff gonna hang the high lane. He's letting these guys on fresher tires go. Wow, these guys have actually put a pretty good gap on the rest of that little pack back there. Let's check the gap. Kevin Savoy got it down to 1.9 over your leader, Jesse Benell. And now Dennis and Benell are starting to kind of leave Josh Brock a little bit. Which, I don't know if Josh took a set the first caution, but I got to assume that he probably did. Just based on what I see. Let's see what else we got going on. JB's kind of by himself. Savoy down to 1.6 with Phipps and Crown over in tow. Jeff kind of in no man's land, sitting 7th. And then you got Korn leading this pack with Eric Cap, Diesel Weasel, Aiden Holler, and Anthony McPherson in it. And Michael Brock a little further back. Dustin Haynes. He started this run in 2nd, but I think his tires have gotten the better of him. He sits 14th right now. Gary, with that nose punched in, he sits in 15th. Carter is 16th. About to get lapped here by Jesse Benell. Ooh, Carter just about slaps the wall. That's going to let Dennis and Josh get by on the bottom side as they keep the pressure on. I got Diesel crashed at the entrance to turn number 1. So we're going to go back and take a look at that. That's going to bring caution out. We'll play it from here. Oh, man. Aiden rocked the wall. Diesel doing a really good job of keeping that front end away from the wall. Wow. So a little bit of damage to that car, but I think it could have been much, much worse. All right. Well, I would anticipate everybody to come to pit road. Carter should get the lucky dog here. That's not necessarily what Savoy and Phipps wanted to see, but it does change some things for sure. Looks like Corn and Cap stayed out that time, which that's kind of an interesting call. So Corn going to be your leader here. And let's go ahead and get some race recap up so far tonight. 64 laps. Corn's your leader. 3 cautions for 8 laps with 4 lead changes. So, not really a lot of lead changes up front, shockingly enough. Looks like Dennis may have taken fuel only. Well, actually, you know what? We can check that. We can check that because we have this lovely thing. His pit stop time was 6 seconds. Jesse Bennell, right around the same boat. Josh Brock at 14. What about Kevin Savoy? All right, so Josh Brock's your first car on fresh tires. So keep an eye on that as we get ready to go green. I want to play Pace Car Driver Simulator. Oh, that's funny. I like it. All right. Well, keep in mind the top 2 did not pit here. We saw how that kind of went last time. So I would expect a lot of these guys to kind of cycle through quickly, although 4 of your top 6 took fuel only. So keep that in mind as well. TV2. Pace car will duck off, and then once Corn hits the restart zone, we'll be able to get this thing back underway again. And pace car just slams the ground on it. Alrighty. Here we go. Corn gonna fire off early. An outside lane with Eric Cap just did not go. Double D gonna look to the outside quickly to go around Zach Corn. Ooh, as Dennis dang near tags the wall. Dennis is going to take the lead to see if he can't check out. Oh, we got a fight on our hands. Jesse Bennell's trying to get past the 2 cars that didn't pit here. Let's just let Dennis just walk away right now. He's working on trying to find a spot to go. Ooh, as Phipps and Savoy hit the wall. Bennell gonna dive it to the inside of Corn. Side by side up front, or side by side for a second, I should say, as Bennell clears Corn. Corn gonna come back on him. The inside for Corn. He pulls ahead for a second. Jesse gonna pinch him down. Corn's putting up one heck of a fight. As now we see Savoy get ready to go around the outside of Corn, and Corn starting to drop like a hot rock. Michael Brock coming into the conversation. He's up to 6th right now, moving for the race up 10. Kevin Savoy going to clear the outside of Zach Corn. Phipps trying to get there too. Here comes Crownover. Crownover thought about sticking it 3 wide and thought better of it. Looks like Phipps is going to clear him this time. Oh, Aiden hits the wall so hard the car came up off the ground. Back to the battle for the lead. Dennis up by 0.6 over this man, Jesse Bennell. And then you got a host of other guys trying to bring the fight to him. Josh Brock on the move. Remember, he was the first guy on fresh tires. Diggs, I've done it. It's absolutely scary as hell. Josh Brock going to try to go after Kevin Savoy. He takes him to the bottom side. JB, I think, got something figured out because he's rolling right now. And he's got Aiden Haller coming with him. So Savoy drops back a little bit. I don't think I'd stress too much. Jesse Bennell starting to close in on Dennis Daly. And now Bennell all over the backside of Dennis. I did not talk to Tom about that race yet. I'm actually surprised he didn't tell me about it, but unless that was the one he was alluding to that was a complete shit show. I think those were the exact words that he used. Josh Brock to the inside of Dennis Daly. He's going to take over the lead, and he is gone. Just flat gone. Aiden Haller in the mix again. He's going to try to look to get around Double D. And look at this. Last week's third place finisher, Dustin Haynes. He's flying through the field as well. As Aiden's gotten around Dennis, does Dustin get around Dennis as we're just past the halfway point? Go off the nose of that Dustin Haynes machine. Man, you can hear it. It almost feels like when you're on board with them that they're creeping on the high side. Or in the corner, I should say. And Dustin Haynes to the inside of Double D. Ooh, Aiden gets the wall. Because Aiden, I think, has hit the wall. It looks like the center of the rear bumper maybe pushed back a little bit. We'll get a better look at that here in just a second. As we look for the right camera. No, I guess it looks fine. I know at one point we saw the front end of this car way up off the ground, so... But man, Josh Brock is absolutely flying. I want to look at last lap times. He's doing a 23.7. He ran 23.9 that time. I want to look and see if Dustin Haynes the only one under that time right now. So I don't know if these guys figured something out with the way that the car's running. I'm not really sure. But Josh Brock is just straight killing it right now. He is gone. 1.38 the gap. And Dustin Haynes is going to drive underneath Aiden Haller here. Down the back stretch we go. The inside. Side by side through 3 and 4. Who's going to clear who? Aiden going to brush the wall a little bit. That's going to give Dustin the advantage down the front stretch. And Dustin just drives underneath him. It'll be interesting to see how long these guys can run this kind of pace. Anthony Crownover's picked up the pace now. He's at a 23.8. I'm really kind of shocked by the pace out of some of these guys right now. See what JB's time at the line is here. 24 flat. Crownover still under a 24. He drives under Aiden Haller. Check the gap this time. 2.2 from Josh Brock to Dustin Haynes. So there's definitely something to be said about fresh tires. As Josh Brock continues to just open a can of whoop ass right now. The one thing that these guys don't want to see is this go full length from here on out and Josh Brock get a clean pit stop under green, because I think if he does it smooth, I think he's just going to be straight gone. Anthony Crownover going to go at it with Dustin Haynes right here. They've left Aiden Haller in the dust. As Josh Brock is creeping towards 2.5 seconds over these guys. Crownover going to look to the inside. Dustin Haynes going to cover. Haynes clips the apron. It's going to leave an opening for Crownover to the outside, which is not really where you want Crownover to have a spot, really. Crownover just hanging. 2.5 now to Josh Brock and climbing. Looks like Crownover may have fallen off just a little bit. Diesel, I think if he does bring that can of whoop ass out, all I can hear Josh Brock saying is, "Can I get a hell yeah?" See what other battles we got going on. Jesse Bennell leading the other two championship contenders right now. Jeff Pless on pit road. Well, okay, he had to get around Diesel Weasel. Dustin Haynes is slowly creeping back in, but I think at this point Josh Brock may be kind of balancing a little bit. We'll have to see when they go around Diesel. About 2-2 to Josh Brock for these guys. Let's check, after we come back around, we'll check lap times. I'm just very curious to see if they're trending towards catching Josh or not. See what Josh's time at the line was. 2-2. These guys running 2-3s, 2-4s. Josh Brock still trending away from them. Go back a little bit further. It's still a fight between Bennell, Phipps, and Savoy. Oh, Phipps way off the pacer after they come out of 2. It's going to let these guys gap out a little bit over Phipps. Let's go back to gap. Change for second place. There's actually a nice battle for second place. Dustin trying to get underneath Crown over this time. We got Corn trying to get to pit road. He apparently missed pit road, but he's fallen all the way back to 13th at this point. And remember, he didn't take fuel. But if he pits now, see if he can get to pit road, he should be good to the end of the race. But this is the kind of thing that will put you a couple of laps down, as he's now gone one lap down. So hopefully it doesn't trap him, but anything's possible right now as JB continues to lead. He's up 3 seconds over Anthony Crownover. And then we got Dustin Haynes sitting P3. Dustin with a hell of a drive so far. It does sound like Double D is going to come to pit road this time, maybe to get away from the group that he's in, so he doesn't have to try to drive through it. Although, am I seeing damage on the left front of that car? Oh no, he's clean. He's good. So, we'll go back to Jesse Bedell. He leads Savoy and Phipps currently. Corn coming off of pit road. He's going to be 3 laps down right now. So it is 3 laps if you pit under green, as we've got just a little under 50 to go. I think it's smart these guys don't fight right now because they need to find some speed. How we doing, Mark? Aiden Haller bringing up the rear of this little pack. Double D going to come off of pit road now. He's going to be about 2 laps down. So Dennis actually going to blend in right behind these guys, which is interesting enough. Josh Brock continues to extend his lead. Jesse Bennell has called out he will come to pit road this time. At least I was pretty sure I heard him call out he's coming. Yep, there he is. See if he can get it slowed down, and he does. Let's check some lap times. Man, JB still 0.4 faster than Crownover on that last lap. Wow. Just a little faster than Savoy, though. Go back here and check. Crownover running by himself. You see Dustin Haynes sitting back there just a little bit further. I should have a video hopefully coming out after this week. Like I said, I got busy with helping the next gen team for PRS, so that's kind of taken up a lot of my time this week. And after I get done with this broadcast, I'm headed to go work on that setup some more, actually. So, man, Josh Brock's just putting on a clinic. Double D trying to make it through the field. I'm a little surprised myself, Sam. Very interesting strategy from Josh Brock, but it seems to be paying off, as Andrew Phipps has lost touch a little bit with Kevin Savoy. So basically anybody outside the top 10, we're all a lap down. So you got guys like Diesel Weasel. There's Diesel. Double D trying to drive his way back to the lead lap. Michael Brock on pit road, I see. Dennis only 4.5 back from Josh Brock right now. And I'll bet if we check last lap times, Double D 23.5, Josh Brock almost a full second slower. So we'll have to see where this kind of rolls out. Josh Brock up almost 5 seconds. I definitely think Brock has figured something out with how to save some tire. I gotta imagine we're gonna see him come to pit road soon, unless he's figured out, depending on how he runs, he may be able to save enough tire or enough fuel for just a single stop, which is a high probability. Dennis getting a little bit closer to unlapping himself. I gotta imagine the guys that pitted earlier, though, they're gonna have to pit one more time. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Double D all over the backside of Josh Brock now. Josh giving Dennis the high or the bottom. Savoy and Phipps on pit road. Josh Brock just trying to manage. He's up almost 6 seconds. I don't know. This could get interesting. But Double D has to come around one more time. Same thing with Benell to get back on the lead lap. Crown over on pit road now. I believe so, Sam. There's no way Josh can make the end. I think what he's trying to do with the gap that he has is make it to where he doesn't have to pit twice. He's only got to pit once. So I'm waiting to hear when he's coming to pit road. Crown over coming off of pit road. How many laps has it been? Let's... So he put it on 63. Man, I don't know. He's pulling away from Dustin Haynes. He's got a full straightaway. So Dustin sits in second place. Everybody pretty stretched out at the moment, too. Pick last lap times. JB still running 24 threes. So I don't know. It's not like he's really spiking up on his lap times. So that's a good thing. The question is, you know, I'm looking at 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. I'm waiting to see Dustin Haynes come to pit road too, unless he's doing the same thing Josh Brock is attempting to do and roll as long as he can and minimize the need for fuel and tires. Andrew Phipps. Josh Brock coming to pit road. Her 12 car coming to pit road this time. Dustin Haynes going to stay out a little bit longer. May not be a bad idea. It may pay off. We'll have to see. And then Gary runs second currently, about 9 seconds back. Dustin on pit road, or headed to pit road. See if Gary stays out here. So that'll give Gary the lead. Josh Brock going to come off of pit road. Gary's still leading. There's only one other car out on track still circulating at the moment on the lead lap with him. And that is Carter Nelson. Benell going to go to the outside of him. So now Benell is on the lead lap. Double D going to try to make it there next. So Dennis has unlapped himself. I just heard somebody say something about pitting in. Oh, Diesel coming to pit road. So Gary stays out. He's still the leader. Whoa, Gary getting real tight in the middle of the corner. Boy, going to try to get underneath him and go around. Gary still stays out. Carter Nelson coming to pit road. He's second. That's going to give Jesse Benell second place there. Double D moves into third. Oh, Gary's in the wall. I think Carter missed pit road. Yep, Carter did miss pit road the last time by, so he's going to try and hit pit road this time. Gary's still out in front. And Gary is going to come to pit road with 24 laps to go. And he's going to hold the lead for a good long second here, as he's got just about a full lap on Benell. So Benell, potentially your leader as we get ready to cycle through with Savoy, Crown Over, Daly, your top four, with Phipps, your top five. Then we're going to have to start checking some lap times. We got 23 laps to go. Jesse Benell has inherited the lead. Let's check last lap times. Savoy with 23.7. Crown Over with a 23.9, and Phipps with a 23.8. And they're all very, very close to each other. Savoy looks to the inside. And he just drives around the bottom of Jesse. I'm very curious. Jesse Benell on lap 103. Kevin Savoy 112. So there is a marked difference in tires. Now, something else to think about. Josh Brock pitted on 120, and he's right here. He is not far back, ladies and gentlemen. As a matter of fact, he's 1.7 back from Kevin Savoy in closing in. So I think he's got enough time. We're going to have to keep an eye on that But Kevin Savoy's got a little bit of a gap over Jesse Bennell. The question is, can Josh Brock run him down? You see Josh off the edge of your screen there. The other thing that's going to come into factor here is how well these guys can get through the lappers cleanly. That's the other question too. Bennell going to go around the inside of Jeff Pless. Josh Brock picks up 2 positions, 4 positions in 1 corner set. Holy shit. What are lap times right now? Josh Brock at a 23.8, Kevin Savoy 24.1. Check the time at the line here. A touch slower, but JB is on the move. He's got something dialed with Dover here. I just can't believe he passed that many people in one shot. I actually, while he's closing in on Savoy, we're gonna come back and look at this. Or actually, it's right here. We'll play it from here. He passes Phipps on the bottom. And when we come down into turn number 1, he's going to be underneath crown over, and then Bennell moves up ever so slightly, and JB just turns right underneath him. So in a straightaway, he picked up 4 positions. Well, this ain't good for Kevin Savoy. He's got to get around Aiden Haller and go because Josh Brock is closing in fast. Oh, Corn gets the wall. That kills a little bit of Josh Brock's momentum. Savoy pulls out about a 10th, but I don't know how long that's going to last because now that he's cleared Corn, Josh Brock goes back at it. So Kevin Savoy, your leader as we stand, 12 laps to go. Does Josh Brock have enough time to get there? I think he does. He's closing him back in. Now that he's got Aiden's draft. Come back and watch. Josh going to try to go to the inside of Aiden Haller. Aiden going to give it to him. He's going to clear. And now it's just Kevin Savoy out front. The next lap car they get to is Michael Brock, but he's a little ways up the track. See if JB can do it. Still at 0.9 right now. And actually, Kevin Savoy is starting to open it up a little bit. Let's check our lap times. Kevin Savoy 24.1, Josh Brock 24.2. 9 laps to go. He's going to have to figure it out if he wants to pull in Kevin Savoy. He led quite a bit of this race, but I'm watching Kevin right now, and he's starting to pull out a little bit more. 1.2 as we go. .3, actually almost 1.4 there. Diesel on freshies. He's going to try and get around Kevin Savoy. And I'm looking at this. There's a battle between Phipps and Josh Brock. I'm a thinking so, Diggs. Side by side out of turn number 2. Josh Brock going to edge ahead of Phipps for a second. Man, they get real close. That's what you call racing. 1.9 up to Savoy at this point. So Kevin Savoy pretty much gone unless something happens to Kevin. And it's a battle for basically second and third at the moment. Josh Brock holds Andrew Phipps off currently. 4 laps to go. Kevin Savoy up 2 seconds at this point. Three laps to go when Savoy crosses the line. I think we could make it all the way to the end of this thing, which is a hell of a run. We had, what, 3 cautions in total tonight. .2 up to Savoy, 2 laps to go. We're watching the battle for second. Actually, second and third, really. See if Phipps is going to hold something for the last lap or if he's just out of juice. It looks like Josh is starting to open up a little bit of a gap over Phipps. Maybe starting to get his rhythm back. Oh, I thought we had a caution. That's the white flag. So Kevin Savoy's taking the white. See if Phipps has got anything for Josh Brock. It's not looking like he's going to have anything for him unless he tries it to the outside. Kevin Savoy comes off of turn number 4 as your winner. Josh Brock going to hang on for second place. And Andrew Phipps, third place on the night. And Josh Brock sounds like he is about out of breath. So we'll have your official results up here in just a minute. All righty. Let's get our results up on screen. Kevin Savoy going to come home with the win over Josh Brock and Andrew Phipps. Anthony Crownover comes home 4th. Jesse Bennell is 5th. Double D comes home in 6th position. Dustin Haynes 7th. Eric Kapp comes home 8th. Michael Brock is 9th. Anthony McPherson 10th. Gary Freeman's 11th. Aiden Haller's 12th. Zach Korn comes home 13th. Jeff Pless is 14th. Carter Nelson 15th. And Diesel Weasel is 16th. So, just waiting to see some guys pop into the interview waiting room here, and we'll get some interviews going. And actually, your winner has already popped in there, so we're gonna go ahead and get that up on screen. We'll go ahead and get Kevin up in here. Kevin, you know, at a couple of points, I kind of was concerned. You took fuel only when everybody else took tires, and then I wasn't sure if you were going to have enough to catch Josh Brock or how that was going to work out. And it looked like after it's all said and done, you saved just enough tires so when Josh gets there, you just kind of motor away.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did. I saw him running along. I tried to follow them. But when I saw Andrew was diving in, I knew I had to cover him. So I jumped in the pits. But yeah, I was making time right at the end. to Josh, so that helped a lot. But yeah, I got a feeling that he had issues in the pits. I don't know if he had a slow entry, but I know I had a good gap to him. So, but he had a few lap fresher tires, so that was big tonight. The tires had a lot of drop off, even when cooling down. Like most of the tracks lately, we go there and we take no tires if we're good for like 4 or 5 laps, or two
Right.
tires, and it runs the whole run. But tonight it was a tire chewer.
Yeah.
Um, it, it
It
was bad.
looked like a cheese grater out there.
Yeah, it was. Even after a restart, it was 3 to 4 tenths off on pace. So tires were huge. That's why I think me, Andrew, Jesse, Crownover, we all took fuel only just to
Right.
save an extra set of tires, just in case we get a late race caution. Um, it was going to be a no-brainer to take tires. So yeah, we had a setting still over the wall. But yeah, no, I knew Jesse and uh, the 18 and the 16 had stopped way earlier, so I knew their
Right.
tires were going to be a lot shoddier. Might have taken two, I'm not sure, but no, just decided to. I knew it was going to be a long run, so I just babied the tires a bit, just making sure I was gaining time and not losing too much time to Crown Over and Andrew in the back, and gently caught up to them, passed them. But yeah, I took a look in the mirror and I saw some jostling there, and looked up the relatives and like, oh crap, Josh is there, and he was
Yeah.
really, yeah, he was quick. I'm like, okay, so I I kicked it up in an extra few tenths and tried to keep the pace and the gap exactly where I wanted to. And I think Andrew got to Josh, and then they started to fight, and I saw them back down. So uh, right there was a once they started fighting, it was I knew it was pretty a good advantage for me.
Right. Yeah, I kind of wondered because I was watching Josh, and I was watching the the relative to you, and as soon as he clears, I think it was Benell. All of a sudden you dropped the lap times and started to pull away again.
Yeah, no, I knew Jesse was hurting a bit, so I knew I could go faster than Jesse.
Right.
But when I saw Josh and he was clicking off a tenth and a half quicker, I'm like, okay, so I have to step it up, or else he's gonna beat to my bumper. So I used up whatever I had saved in tires and was able to keep the gap. And again, once they started fighting and losing speed, I was
Right.
able to just increase the gap and be able to just save it.
I mean, they don't call you the master of saving tires for nothing. That and fuel. But no, I mean, we saw you hit the wall a couple of times, which I'm guessing it didn't really affect the car too much.
No, one of them kind of gave me a slight bit of damage, but not that much. All the other ones, I think, it might have looked different on the broadcast, but most of them were just like slight grazings and stuff like that.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I know sometimes with what I see versus what you guys see is different. So, um, but all in all, congrats on the win tonight, Kevin. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before I let you go for the night?
thanks for you, AJ, for broadcasting our races. They are always great fun to watch again. Thanks to everyone that runs the Throwback series. Thanks to everyone watching. Thanks for Andrew, Josh, Jesse, Crownover, everyone for racing so cleanly and giving us a great fun every night.
All righty, bud. Well, like I said, congrats on the win tonight. We'll let you go and hopefully get to talk to you again next week.
All right, see ya.
Have a good one. That's Kevin Savoy, everybody. All right. We're gonna get the next guy in here. He led 58 laps tonight, put on an absolute clinic for a chunk of this race, and almost pulled off the damn win. Josh Brock, second place tonight.
I'm damn sure not going to go down not swinging. I went down swinging. I had Kevin in my locked on the radar. Congrats to him on the win. I had him locked in the radar, and unfortunate contact with the 19 off turn 4, crunched the right front, and it just tightened up an already tight race car to begin with. I couldn't get back to him, and
Yeah.
had hell holding off Phipps.
I was gonna say we watched that battle because I caught that on stream where you and Corn make contact there, and it looked like he just got the wall and you were just right there. But I didn't see any damage on the car, but I could tell something was wrong, because you just didn't have the speed. And I gotta ask, did you find something after that first tire run, or was it something that you practiced?
I went off sequence, and believe it or not, I was not touching the brake at all whatsoever entering the corners. I was lifting.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And just getting back into the throttle, just kind of carrying 60, 70% throttle.
Right.
Thank you, Phipps, for the tip. And just kind of let the momentum carry. And then once the car started pointing down the track to where I can get a straight shot off the corner, I just started easing down on it. It was just throttle patience tonight. It was all about how you work the throttle to get that thing to turn and do what you want to do. But I put myself off sequence so I could kind of just see how this thing was going to play out. Well, and if I hadn't have got Corn off turn 4, don't worry, Corn, I'm not mad. Don't think this is me cussing you out. No, I'm not mad. Things happen.
Right.
But if I hadn't have caught him, I think I'd have gave Kevin a run for his money to the checker. And
I think we were all thinking that just watching it, because it looked like you were just pulling in gobs of time. I mean, we watched you clear Phipps out of 4 and then pull 3 other positions by the time you went down into turn 1 in one whole lap. Like, I was like, oh, Josh Brock's back. Holy shit, he's in second.
It was just a massive checkup, and I had the momentum, had the lines. It was sticking, and just held my breath and closed an eye, and we came out the other end on the rosy side.
Sometimes that's what you gotta do. So,
but it felt good to get out there, just kind of ride around, set cruise control for a little bit, because I don't know how many laps I ran at 24:06, 24:08, 24:07.
Right.
I think it was like 7 or 8 in a row, and I was just on cruise control.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of looked like it. Now, I guess the only question is, do you think you should have went in a couple of laps sooner, or did you kind of have it planned out that that's where you wanted to pit to give you the best option to the end?
Honestly, I still had 6 more laps in the tank, and I had thought about running it all the way dry. That way I could put them on them old tires a little bit longer and have fresher tires for just a little bit shorter and run them back down a little bit quicker. But I decided to come in when I did, and it was actually the right time. It really would have put on a show towards the end, but it's all right. I'm happy with P2.
You haven't had the best luck in this car. So.
I really have it, and shout out to Junior. He had a good run tonight too.
Yeah,
and it's just, I don't know. This is one of those tracks where if the first 15 laps of practice, if I can't nail the line, I'm not gonna nail the line.
Right.
And within the first 15 laps of practice yesterday, showing Michael how to run around here, and I found the line. It just hit me. And I was able to just nail it time after time today. So
it
really helped.
Sometimes it just
shout out to everybody tonight, man. It was a great race.
It actually was. Like, yeah, we had a couple of cautions. No real big wrecks like what you usually see here at Dover, especially like off of turn 4. You're usually guaranteed for a 4 or 5 car pileup right there, and we just didn't get that. I think the closest we had was
expecting us kind of be packed up, and then the turn 2, turn 4 catastrophes happened, and that'd be like a whole wad sliding down to the inside of the track. But that never happened tonight. It was pretty good. There was a lot of hard racing going on.
Yeah, no, I think the closest thing we had was the incident with Eric Cap and Aiden there off a turn 4. Cap somehow kept it out of the wall. I have no idea how. So I mean, if that was the wildest thing we had, I think that's a good night.
Oh yeah,
So
We'll take it. And then Michael had his little mishap.
it happens. I saw it.
Yeah.
I've done that. I don't know how many times here. So
Yeah.
it's Dover.
Everybody does that at least once in their career.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. So,
but man, what a great night, man. Like that was a lot of fun for once.
right.
Put myself off strategy to have 20 something lap fresher tires than everybody else. It really helped long run. I mean, even with the cautions the way they felt, I was on 18 lap tires and I was chilling with Jesse and Dennis in third for that little stretch. And I don't know, man. It just I felt good tonight. I felt good for once.
That's the main thing, right?
Confidence worth half a tenth, right?
Exactly.
Or half a second.
Exactly. Well, second place on the night. Anybody else you want to give a shout out to before I let you go?
Shout out to everybody. Kevin for winning it tonight. Phipps and Crown over Jesse. Dennis for Dustin for racing me. Michael for having a good finish. McPherson for another top 10. I mean, shout out to everybody for even showing up tonight.
Yeah.
Shout out. Sure. And Bowen needs a ratchet strap if anybody's got one for a donation.
I seen that.
Or a new table clamp. Poor dude.
Tough break for him tonight, literally. But
shout out to everyone watching tonight. I know my family was watching. I shared it about 6 different ways. So shout out to everyone watching.
We had a good.
I put on a show for y'all.
we had a good bit watching tonight too. So I wouldn't be surprised if you get some phone calls tomorrow.
I'll probably get some text messages here soon.
So, all right, buddy. Well, congrats on the second place tonight. I'm gonna let you go so we can get Phipps in here, but hopefully we can talk to you again next week.
Oh yes, I hope so.
All right.
We'll see.
All righty, bud. Have a good night.
You as well. Later, man.
Later. Josh Brock, everybody. All right, we got one more man to get in here. He's been your points leader all season. He gave second place the way to drive this track a little bit better, so I'm sure he's kicking himself a little bit. Andrew Phipps, third place on the night tonight. It looked pretty brutal out there, like just tight wise, and then everybody else kind of tagging the wall at times.
It was really tight, and it was just very much top dominant. And in order to pass somebody on the bottom, you'd have to kind of put your door on their left front. And I need to not be touching anybody and just be on my good behavior. And I'm so happy to see Josh get a good run. He needed it. He's been fast a lot of places this year, and he's just had the worst luck all season. So super pumped to see him get a good run. He was fast. It was just unfortunate with the way that the yellows kept coming, and I didn't know if I should take tires. I was trying to save a set, and then the last time I decided not to take tires, the yellow never came out again. And I was out there on old tires. But Kevin still managed to win with the same strategy as me, so he did a great job.
Yeah, I think the key thing was making sure that you didn't wind up passing to the inside, or if you did, you made it happen quickly, or otherwise the guy on the outside was going to pinch you down all night.
Oh yeah. If Kevin did it to me earlier in the race where he would just put it right on my right front, and not like this place, you have to be able to do a little bit of a diamond. And if the guy on the outside takes away your ability to run the diamond, you have no prayer. But even that, like I did make some passes on the bottom, but you can't get up beside him on the outside. That's the hard part. Like everybody can drive it in so deep on entry that I can't get to the outside of the right rear quarter panel to get to establish the outside. So all you can do is kind of just hang and save tire and wait until they cook their right front and then drive by them. And the top 5 guys, they're too good. They're just not going to burn the right fronts off.
Yeah, that's something I've run into here with the 87 a lot, because the way that they build the iRacing default sets, and it kind of sucks because you want to be able to race with them, but at the same time, the track surface it turns into a cheese grater no matter.
It's worth 2/10, and if you push really hard in the beginning, like I pushed really hard in the first little run there, and Dennis pushed really hard. I think we're just trying to kind of see what we could do, and how bad it would kill it, and
Right.
then how much to back it off for the next time. But Dennis, it was like a playing chicken. After about 15 laps, I'm like, okay, Mercy, I'm not gonna run it this hard anymore.
Right.
I give Mercy, go up there, and then
Right.
about 10 laps later, I could see him his right front was starting to smoke. I'm like, okay, he's done for.
Yep. Yeah.
But then the yellow came out and he got to put tires on and it didn't hurt him at all. He got to go up there and lead laps and he was fast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
it's fun. I just, these cars are always have a little bit on the tight side, and then when you take fuel out of them, just makes them a little tighter.
Right.
It is what it is. It's the same for everybody. So you just got to be smart. Trying to save tire and get yourself in a good pit strategy, and you just never know when the yellow is going to come out. And
Right.
it's half the fun of it, though.
Yeah, exactly. Still third on the night tonight. You have Kevin nip into your points lead a little bit. But overall, for third place on the night, that it stops the bleed, which is good. Especially for a track that was very technical tonight.
Yeah, I don't mind. I owe him some points. I owe Crownover a lot of points. I made up my mind. I said if Crownover is anywhere near me, if I'm leading this thing and Crownover's second, I'm gonna pull over with one to go. I feel so bad. He was running the bottom last week, and when he went up to the top, I think his lift points were just off, and I just absolutely ran the poor guy over and took away a win from him. And I didn't mean to do it, and he knows I didn't mean it, but it still don't take away. Don't give him a trophy back.
Right. Nothing like stepping on it when you don't want to.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, yeah, don't want to be in chat with the guy that you just crashed. So yeah, I'll make it up to him one of these days. I will absolutely.
Yeah, been there, done that a time or two, but yeah, it's a new week. You move on and you go after it again. So,
yeah.
But yeah, like I said, P3 on the night tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before I let you go for the night?
Just my wife for putting up with me and letting me play this silly game. I know she's come in here and peeked in the room a couple of times. Like, what are you doing? And and then just all the guys in the league for putting on these races. It's an absolute blast. I love all the guys in the league and super fun. And congrats again to Josh and Kevin. And thank you for hosting this deal.
All righty. Well, I will let you go on that note tonight, sir. So congrats on the third place, and hopefully we get to talk to you again next week, bud.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Yep. Andrew Phipps, everybody. All right. Well, that is it for all of us up here in the booth. Congrats to Kevin Savoy on the win, Josh Brock for putting on one hell of a clinic, and Andrew Phipps, sealing the deal there in third. As far as the channel for the rest of the week, I'm looking at doing some streaming. I don't think tomorrow, probably Friday. And then we're going to play it by ear until Fast Car on Sunday night. We'll have the Legacy Gen 4s for Fast Car. That'll be at 7:30 on Sunday night. You're not going to want to miss that. We've already been kind of playing with some setup stuff and getting a little bit more speed out of it than the new Gen 4. But the Gominator's also been playing with the new Gen 4. We think we might have found something there. So, but on that note, everybody, have a great night. Have a great rest of your week. Hopefully we see you again on Friday. And if we don't see you Friday, hopefully you tune in on Sunday for one of the greatest shows on YouTube and iRacing. So until then, we'll catch you all later, everybody.